We're cooking up some great comfort food in a casserole form. Of course, casseroles often have high calories, high fat, not the kind of thing you want to eat at the first of the year, but Cox Eastes has us all fixed up. You've got a great idea to make this healthy.
Well, I tried to take out as much fat as possible. It had some butter in the recipe. I took that out altogether and put in chicken broth in its place. So this is a version of that old King Ranch chicken, and it's got a little kick to it because we use this diced tomatoes and green chilies and so forth. The popular brand is
the Rotel.
Right. Kroger has its own brand, and they actually got mild and hot in addition to the original. So depending on how much you want, you know, if you like it really spicy, Meryl, like I know you do, then you can put that in there. But we're going to start out, and they do have the reduced fat cream soups, which is what I use all the time. A lot of these ingredients, if you'll just substitute them in your regular recipes and not say anything to your family, I don't think they'll really recognize it. I tested this out at home on Larry, and he didn't notice any difference. He thought it was good and was glad I made it. So, but
a lot of times if you say, "Oh yeah, I'm using low-fat
I can taste
ingredients,"
the
they don't know.
No, and also the lower fat sour creams. In this recipe, instead of one of the cream soups, if you wanted to, I think you could use plain yogurt. I think these cans are like 10 ounces, so you could use like 10 ounces of, let's turn our heat on here. We're trying to
be sure you use the unflavored kind.
Yes, just the plain, not the vanilla.
Not the vanilla.
No, not
Don't make that mistake, because I've done that.
Be sure and read the labels when you're buying all these. And that's another thing that you can look at, Meryl, because like a lot of the pre-made like pasta sauces and things like that, if you'll look, there's quite a variation in the amount of fat content per serving on those. So do read the labels because they're for our benefit.
Okay.
But we want to try to mix all that together over our heat, and I'm going to stir in some. This is like a lower fat, maybe 2% milk instead of the whole fat milk, and this is a cheese. It's like the Velveeta. It's the Kroger brand.
Okay.
And then you can put some chicken in there. This is 3 cups of cooked chicken. Now you could use leftover grilled chicken or rotisserie chicken, any types of cooked chicken, because we're mixing all of our ingredients in here, and then we're going to put it in a casserole and bake it for anywhere from around 30 minutes or so, just to get it hot and bubbly. And I have plated this with some black beans or pinto beans, if you didn't like that, and then just shredded lettuce. So this is kind of like a Mexican meal that is not as high fat as the ones we go out to the restaurants, although I do love them. And special occasions warranted. But this is something that I think all of our viewers would enjoy making, because we did try to take the fat out. One of the last things I'm going to put in here is some of this chicken broth, and it called for like 1/4 cup. It had originally called for 1/4 cup of butter melted.
Oh no.
And so you can substitute, that's another thing you can substitute, is chicken broth for butter in some of your recipes.
Right, so this is angel hair pasta that you prepared.
Pasta. Yes, I cooked that up ahead of time.
According to the package directions.
Exactly, and that's what we're stirring in right at the last. And I used 8 ounces. I went to look for a 7-ounce package, and they don't make that, I don't think, anymore. So I took half of a 16-ounce package and cooked that up ahead of time. And then you're going to put it in a rectangular casserole, and I went ahead and sprayed this with vegetable spray just so it'll be easy to get out. So when I was serving this, yes, you're really having to use some effort to mix all of that pasta together.
A little bit of a workout, isn't it?
It is. And you could go ahead and make this up and put it in the refrigerator, Meryl, to this point, and then stick it in the oven and bake it, you know, when you wanted to serve it. So
is this one you could make ahead like this and freeze?
I think you could.
See, I
certainly
love doing that and having it in the refrigerator in case you need it for potluck or whatever.
I think that's a good idea. And also, this the processed cheeses, other than the natural cheeses, will melt, whereas the natural cheeses do not melt as well in some of these types of recipes as the pasteurized cheeses do. So it's very colorful. I'm going to cut the heat off. There you go. And then you bake that, like I said, for anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, so you get it nice and bubbly.
And that's what it looks like over there in the finished product. I just think that looks delicious. I can't wait to try it.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's something
so you've taken out a lot of the fat, a lot of the calories. You can go for the reduced sodium soups and things if you want to, and the chicken broth.
Right, and that's why I said if you wanted to put some plain yogurt, if you wanted to reduce some of the sodium, because unfortunately the cream canned soups do have a lot of sodium. So just read the label to decide what you need for your diets.
All right, we're helping you get healthy for the new year. Ann, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
We appreciate it. This is recipe number 5285. It's online now in the Talk of the Town recipes section at newschannel5.com.